Hello again there, Coffee Chat friend. Perhaps all this time I was using the word friend a little bit loosely but nevertheless, we use words sometimes, as the dictionary indicates, various different meanings, right? Now, I had occasion to reflect upon the word friend recently as a result of some communications I had with somebody I have known, and just wanted to talk about a little bit about the importance of that type of relationship today. What I feel is the importance, anyways. Now, the word friend comes from the German, at least partly through the German anyway. Freund, I guess. I don't know how you pronounce it, but something like that. It means to love, and it's also related to the word free. To be free, kind of thing, right? And to me, in thinking about it, friendship obviously has to be a two-way street. We wouldn't think of a loving relationship as adults anyways, a real loving relationship. We say that we love children and so on, but that's not really the same mutual relationship. But in terms of adults, for two people to fall in love, it must be a mutual thing, I would think. And therefore, there must be trust. I mean, if there's a lack of trust in a relationship, there cannot be what we would normally refer to as love or friendship. So I would say, anyway. But nevertheless, there could be still relationship, right? There could still be relationships of business, convenience, somewhat helpful relationships, and purely incidental relationships. As an example, going to the grocery store, going through the teller, at the moment of exchanging money and getting there's some sort of a relationship going on there, very distant and relatively shallow relationship, and a very specialized relationship. But nevertheless, it is a relationship, but we wouldn't call it a friend relationship, would we? I don't think we would. Now, to my way of thinking, in order to have this trust relationship, to improve it, somehow get standing close to a road here, so it's a hot rod truck going by. I would say in order to have an improvement in our quality of life in this thing called friendship, it's probably beneficial for us to work on our principles, what it is that we stand for in life, what it is that we uphold as dear in terms of importance, right? So that could be principles, values, you might say. And then from that standpoint, as much as we can, judge our relationships or gauge our relationships and the character of those within our relationships based on those principles. So, in this particular relationship, that had gone back and forth for a while, a discussion which ended up with my summary of it is that there was not trust in the relationship. There was not trust of the one who was talking of themselves even, and therefore not even trust of me. So to me, if there's no trust, there cannot be it's not a two-way street anymore, right? So it's to me, it's hard to call that a trust relationship. And to use examples of how I am and how that indicates certain traits that show up in people, such as acting in opposition to what they say. And once again, not necessarily specifically saying that I do that, but saying the way you are indicates this, that you say you love people but you actually hate them, this sort of thing. To me, it demonstrates the first point of lack of trustability. And like I say, we can have all kinds of relationships. We can have warring relationships even where there's complete lack of trust. In fact, That's the whole point almost, is this competitive nature, not knowing what the other will do. However, I think in terms of quality of life, it's important for us to know, have almost like a methodology in which we, in a way of defining what it is we mean by friendship when it comes right down to it. When I open up these videos, I say, hello, coffee chat friend, or whatever. This is more of a slogan than anything, because I could be talking to somebody. I mean, I get reads according to my click counter or whatever. I get reads from all over the world, from Afghanistan, India, South Africa, and everything else. And I'm saying the same thing, hello, coffee chat friend, but it's more of a slogan. It's one of those other minor definitions, right? But I talk about friend here, real friend. Real friend, which is the somebody who you can count on. The somebody who, when you die, if you could count one of them, that sort of a friend is a friend where there is trust. And if the trust is not there, then it cannot be, in my opinion, a real friend, but nevertheless, an important relationship perhaps. But it doesn't necessarily have to count as friend. So, once again, I think it's important to define what it is we mean by terms. And when I'm talking about friend, very often I'll use the word a little bit. Honestly, I have to admit, I've used the word very flippantly for, a friend of mine did this or whatever, and meanwhile I don't really know anything about them. But a real friendship is a trust. It has to involve a trust relationship as the default. And when that trust is no longer there, it is a relationship with another term. But I wouldn't call it friendship, honestly. Anyways, I hope this was valuable. I know it's a little bit of a ramble today. I think I covered what I wanted to cover, and hopefully we can strive towards friendship. Perhaps, another thing I wanted to say for myself anyways, I realized that trust of myself within is the most important. That's the most important. Friendship, if you will, freedom, if you will, love, if you will, to get started with. And also that helps me anyways, as just sharing ideas on improving the quality of your life here again, right? To me, the inner trust, the inner friendship, the inner love helps to establish those principles upon which I'm going to live my life. And it helps to then judge characters down the road. And when the character doesn't line up, it's, life is full of so many people, right? And if we're going to spend time with people, we want to spend time with people who are going to help us to grow. If we want to have an improved quality of life experience, we want to spend time, most of our time. I mean, there's lots of time when we give to our children and so on, and they're actually a draw from us. But we do it out of this sense of obligation, if you will. But we cannot possibly be obligated to everybody, because we only have so much time and so much energy, I would say, individually. So it's best that we somehow come up with a way to realize who it is we're going to spend most of our energy with and focus on that, because that's going to help us to grow more. It's not as though we have to ignore everybody, but most of our time and most of our effort is going to hopefully is spent with people who trust us and we trust them, and therefore we can truly call them friends. Just some thoughts. What do you think? Hope to do this again soon. My name's Steve. I'll sign off for now. Bye-bye for now.